I'm Jonathan with The Nocturnal, and we are here on the set of Annabelle the Creation, or the recreated set. It's looking real creepy, that light's flickering, which I'm enjoying. We're going to talk to some actors, eat some food, and have a good time. So this is your first horror movie.
It is.
How is it different from, say, Happy Feet?
Well, I'm on camera, number one. It's different. I mean, one's more comedic, and the other one's definitely not comedic. So it has a certain look. It's kind of the horror genre is not something I've ever done, but I've since The Exorcist kind of been interested in it. I don't know why I never thought I would be in one. Not because of any judgment. I just didn't see myself in a horror film. Other people would disagree, but I'm so glad I did it. I loved it. There's a real kind of fine line that you walk doing them. You have to keep everything super real because everything around you is not.
Right.
So, if you basically like things like the set, it's so beautiful and so kind of broken down and creepy in a way that it does the job. You don't have to act on top of that. Like your environment is doing a lot of the work for you, and your co-stars are doing a lot of the work for you as well.
Okay.
So I found it a kind of a unique experience that way.
Nice. Miranda, so you've worked on Lord of the Rings and other movies where you have to do CGI, but what is it like seeing yourself, with blood all over the place, or not to ruin the movie, with certain effects on your face?
I think all these things are a real gift as an actor to get to explore different things. I didn't come
green
into
screen. Is that hard? I've never done it. Is it hard?
hard to do.
Yeah.
Green screen.
Yeah.
It just relies on a lot of imagination, I think.
Oh, then I'm dead. Go
You
on.
have to imagine
Finish your
things.
question. I just wanted a rough idea if I could do it or not. No, I couldn't.
But the makeup and all those things, I think those things are fun, like anything where you can turn yourself into something else, keep reinventing yourself in different ways is always fun to do. And I don't know, I got a kick out of doing all the makeup stuff and the mask and all that. That was a big key to signing up for it. I thought it would be fun to play a really mysterious character.
Nice.
Yeah.
Obviously you all are both working with a very young cast. What was it like working with, these fresh faces?
They were great. I mean, seriously, those girls are more professional than I've been in my entire career. They were like so on top of it. They were, they're very smart and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of advanced in a way for their age.
Yeah.
And I think being around show business can do that to kids. But
Yeah.
they're so, they're such polished actors at such a young age. There was no kind of coaching needed or, they nailed it on every take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I wish I got to work with them more. I barely got to work with them, but their work in the film is so great. I just love all their different characters.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your character plays the caretaker for 6 orphans. Were there times when you're reading the script and you're thinking, like, no, get these girls out of the house. Like, no, don't do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, even on set, I was like, can we just change the story and make my character super smart and oh, I know what's about to happen, and just run away with my kids? He's like, no, because where are you gonna go? It's like, you don't have a place to go. There's no cell phones, there's no technology, so there's that.
And
I
your
had to stay.
character hadn't read
We
the
had to stay.
script, so
Right.
Exactly. So
she doesn't know what's going to happen.
Also, that's what happens. Like, you're watching the movie, so you know a lot of things my character doesn't know.
Yeah. And David, you've worked in horror before, obviously. This is sort of your genre. Was there sort of a stamp you wanted to leave on the genre with this movie?
Yeah, I mean, it was an honor to be able to do an installment in the Conjuring franchise, which I'm a fan of. But yeah, also put my own stamp on it, to do my own take on it, And I was very happy that they were very open with what we were doing with this film, that it wasn't like, no, we have to do this and this and this. It was very much, do your thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your scene with Janice, where I believe you called her spiritually strong, was one of my favorite parts of the movie. It really touched me. What was your rapport like with the girls? Did you feel like their actual caretaker by the end?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we had a connection instantly, and it's just, I think that's what you see on screen. They're they're the best. They're like really super professional. They're adorable. They were actually taking care of me on set. So I had to find the balance as a character and as you know, working on how firm and how loving and caring when you're taking care of 6 children. It's a lot. But I think he was helping me a lot. David was telling me, like, go a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
You know, your voice, like, sometimes you're very firm, because that's the way I am.
Yeah.
My voice is really low, so I had to play with that a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
And David, you come from obviously a DIY background.
Yes.
You know, making your own films. Was it a sort of a transition to work with a bigger studio?
Absolutely, but a fun one, because you're not as limited when you have to, when you have to do everything yourself versus when you get to work with all these great professionals who know what they're doing and can do so much better things than you can do, which is just liberating. Like, I mean, the set by Jennifer Spence, it looks so great, and while we were shooting it, it was so inspiring to just walk around in that creepy house and just come up with new stuff that wasn't even in the script. Like, yeah, let's add this part over here, and
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. And so getting ready or preparing for your role, did you look into sort of like religious iconography? Like, how deep did you get into that world?
I went more towards the background of my character in terms of her, like what she went through in life, because there was a whole story behind it, but we couldn't show it because the movie was going to be super long. So it was more like personal with my character than religiously. I wanted her to be like with a lot of layers and like be very human and real and raw, and not so much of the idea we have of a nun. And I have a lot of people around me, family and friends, that are religious, not nuns or priests, but people that have faith and believe in God. So I try to add that to my character.
So Talitha, your character really transforms as the movie progresses.
Yes.
How fun was it to kind of play different roles in the same character?
Oh, it was really fun because they're polar opposites of each other. And with most things that I book, I really am just one character throughout the whole thing, kind of plain. And with this one, I feel like I completely transformed. And I got to play this really sweet and innocent character, then switch to this evil person who actually wanted to kill everyone in the orphanage.
And Lulu, this isn't your first horror movie. You're sort of an old pro at this point. When you walk on set, is it like, oh, it's nothing, or is it still terrifying?
Well, I really don't get scared, but I'm never like, oh, it's nothing, because that doll is really creepy.
It really
And knowing and having that thought in the back of my head that the Annabelle doll was a real doll and that the doll actually got possessed, that actually happened, kind of terrifies me. But I try to get past it whenever I'm on set.
Nice, cool. And so did both of you study sort of like the leads in classic horror franchises? Because at this point, The Conjuring and Annabelle is massive.
Yeah.
I watched all the Conjuring movies in the first Annabelle. I mean, I've seen a lot of horror movies myself, so I just take from each role that I like in each movie and kind of add that kind of style to my own style and then into my character.
Okay, cool. And what about you?
I had actually watched like all of the horror movies beforehand, so I didn't have to prepare after that. I didn't have to watch the Annabelle, go back and watch it because I had already seen it. But really what helped me, I guess, prepare for the role was 2 weeks before we started shooting, my character had polio, and that's when I found that out. So I walked around with a cane and tried to figure out how I was gonna play her, really, because I didn't want it to come across on screen like I just got polio, because obviously she's had it for a while and she's used to the cane and everything. So I wanted to get used to that idea.
Okay, cool. Lulu, I found a lot of the people in my row in the theater really rooting for you, like screaming. Are you super tough in real life?
I guess. I don't even know. The only thing that I draw the line at is like roller coasters. Those kind of freak me out. But anything else, I guess I would say I was brave. I don't know. It's really up to other people besides me. But I do get kind of freaked out if people jump out at me, like these actual physical people, because then I kind of have this instinct to like punch them in the face and like knock them out, because I know like, oh, I have to protect myself. That's like my big instinct. But yeah.
Cool. And so obviously there was like a lot of rapport, especially between the two of you. Did you all do anything to sort of build that rapport on set?
I think, like we've said before, honestly, like from the get-go, I feel like we really clicked from the beginning. We got each other, and I think we knew we were gonna be like really good friends from when we first met.
Yeah.
Cool. And Talitha, do you have any plans to work in horror in the future?
I hope so. I mean, I hope I'll be blessed to work again in another horror movie. That would be incredible. I think this one was definitely a great first experience for a horror movie because Annabelle creation is huge.
Right.
So it was really cool that I got to work with this one for my first horror movie.
Nice. And is it scary sort of seeing yourself in a different context? Like there's a certain scene where
Oh yeah.
laughing and laughing.
That was really cool. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was weird watching the film because they add in all this like VFX afterwards, and they add in all this editing and the music, and it's really cool to see your face like up on this huge screen and just see these other people reacting to you. It's just insane. It's a weird feeling.